NNAMDI KANU is in between life and death, exposed to danger, as he may not be able to survive this if action is not taken. My people, tori don tie wrapper, e don tie wrapper, no be small thing. You see, this is one of those things that we are saying, but when we talk, they say, "Now for where you from come, who tell you, who tell you, and who tell you to talk." This one don't be question of who tell you to talk. Oh. Now, the story don't really tie wrapper this time around, because now the IPOP leader Mazi NNAMDI KANU in life don't be in danger. He is now exposed to danger. Now, a very tough journalist has come up to speak up on this very matter, and I wish this very video will reach Mazi NNAMDI KANU. I'm telling you, I really wish it will reach him. Then he will now know the kind of people that he's dealing with. Even you yourself that will hear this very video, you will be shocked, and that is why I would like you to share this video. Let it go viral and let everyone have a copy of it. Oh, my dear listeners, people wicked. This very country called Animal Kingdom Nigeria, they're wicked, they're devilish, they're evil. They don't want the good of innocent citizens like me and you. Now our downfall, and they look for, don't be our good. And that is why when it's election time, when they come outside say vote for me, they warn a lot of Nigerians, but they don't understand. They say now jealous, are they jealous? who are one jealous? Nigerian politics. Now you want. Now, person we get mind, they join politics in Nigeria. Now, person we get mind, they get me so. I beg me could avail me this very opportunity as I drop this very video, because plenty truth stay inside. Make you no blink your eye, no blink them at all, because the story long, it really long. We go enter inside.
You know, when I said that, I said Igbo. That is, if you think it is necessary, if you think it is sufficient to have a separate state, Igbo is far more attractive to me than Biafra, right? And I've given the instances. Some people, you know, the truth is this. In Nigeria, many people are excited about Igbo. Once they see, because they don't understand Igbo. Igbo doesn't fit into their culture. Igbo life doesn't fit into their behavior. Where somebody wakes up and before he does anything, he goes to greet his king. No, by the time you finish greeting your king, the Igbo man would have done 2-3 things. That is the way he's structured. So because of that, there is some, I don't want to call it disdain, there's some distance, some gap between the Igbo man and the rest. So, even the Biafra they are talking about, the neighbors, you remember it was the propaganda program of the British during that war, trying to get the non-Igbo to see the Biafra project as one to further the sole interest of the Igbo. And they succeeded. And indeed made some Igbos to change their names, change the names of their towns. Now, you see that for me, if you must pursue that project, let it be Igbo. But then, for you to pursue a project of creating a state, it is not as simple as people think. It must follow international law.
That's right. Now, you are making a very interesting point. Many people... if they have their cards and could dial into this program now, or perhaps drop a comment on this stream, would say, doesn't Biafra translate to Igbo? Or is it that Igbo is no longer Biafra, or that Biafra is not Igbo? What do you think, Ozo? What do you think Biafra stands for? Does it still stand for Igbo?
Do you know that right now, smart Nigerians like you are starting the business of exporting locally made Nigerian products?
Stand for Igbo. Stand for Igbo.
Biafra may stand for Igbo, but once it begins to look like an effective separate state, my own view is that it should not stand for Igbo, because the others are deriding it. The people whose territory gave birth to that name are deriding it. So it does not seem to be such a thing that will go too far.
What does NNAMDI KANU's possible release or not mean for the continuation of the idea of Biafra?
His own idea?
If NNAMDI KANU is released following his no-case submission, if the judge rules in his favor, what does it mean? What would his release mean for the idea that Biafra represents?
No, ordinarily, NNAMDI KANU is a resilient person. He will continue the struggle, right? And he will continue to learn the lessons. NNAMDI KANU, I followed him closely, and I've even met him, not once, not twice. And I know that he's a stubborn person. I'm not stubborn in the positive sense. He's gradually being designed to be a more malleable person. When they started, I know the battle that was waged to get NNAMDI KANU to stop insulting other ethnic groups and to stop insulting certain names and families. When he was insulting Zig, insulting this person, insulting that person. And he was told he has not acquired statecraft. Statecraft is a skill. It's not personal skill. It is a group skill. He has not acquired it. But gradually he accepted that. He stopped insulting other ethnic groups. Right? So that is progression. So he continued moving. When he introduced ESN, many people hailed him. Do you know why? The federal government deliberately did not want to do anything about cattle menace. You will farm, cattlemen will lead their cattle into your farm. They will wait for it to grow. Once it grows, they will lead it into your farm. Lead those cattle into your farm to destroy it, and nothing will be done. So when ESN was introduced, a lot of people were positive about it. But unfortunately, that was why I mentioned something like substructure. Substructure are the human beings who have the capacity to run a system. Okay. He didn't have that. And he couldn't have sustained it. And before you knew it, everything went out of hand. The Igbo are ordinarily and they are acephalous people. Acephalous people are people who can easily grow into groups. They mutate into groups. And those groups are independent. They have to be independent. They are assertive. They fight for it. Because of that, you started having splinters. Those splinters in the bush who had no code, no rule of operation, and they started committing all manner of atrocities and started offending everybody. Because it wasn't coded. So that's why I tell you, where is the substructure